Have you ever met someone who destroys every relationship they touch? Someone who runs from closeness? Who lets love slip through their fingers again and again? You think maybe they just don't care, but the truth is far deeper and far more painful than that. Today, we're going to talk about people who can't accept love. These aren't just loners who prefer solitude. These are people who are broken inside, who've built walls so high around themselves that no one can get in. These people learn from childhood that love equals pain. Maybe their parents ignored them. Maybe they were never enough. Maybe someone they trusted completely shattered them. So they put on armor, emotional armor. But here's the thing, this armor doesn't keep them safe. It keeps them imprisoned. When someone gets close, alarms start blaring in their mind. Danger, get out, run. In psychology, we call this attachment avoidance. These are people who are terrified of intimacy because they believe vulnerability makes them weak. For them, opening up to someone feels like standing naked in front of a firing squad. It's not romantic, it's terrifying. Inside their minds, there's something else. A voice that never stops. You're unlovable. You're not good enough. If they really knew you, they'd run. Psychologists call this toxic shame. It's not just guilt about doing something wrong. It's the deep belief that they are what's wrong. It becomes part of their identity, their DNA. When someone says, "I love you," their brain can't process it. They think, if you really knew me, you'd never love me. You're only seeing the mask I'm wearing. So what do? They test you. They create distance. They become a little toxic, just to see if you'll stay or if you'll leave like everyone else. And when you finally give up and walk away, exhausted, they say, "See, I knew it. I told you, I'm unlovable." It becomes a vicious cycle. Psychologists call it a self-fulfilling prophecy. You believe you'll end up alone, so you behave in ways that guarantee you'll end up alone. Studies show that people who see themselves as unlovable unconsciously sabotage their relationships. They go cold when someone tries to get close. They pick fights over nothing. They become emotionally unavailable, shut down, distant. And here's the worst part. They attract people who validate their beliefs. If you think you're unlovable, you'll find partners who treat you badly because that feels familiar. That feels right. That feels like home. Sounds strange, doesn't it? But these people are actually afraid of happiness. There's even a term for it, cherophobia, the fear of joy. Why? Because when all you've known is pain, happiness feels alien. It feels wrong, uncomfortable. You know it won't last. So it's safer to stay in your comfort zone, even if that zone is filled with suffering. Researchers have found that trauma survivors often don't feel deserving of happiness. An equation forms in their minds. Pain equals normal. Happiness equals temporary or fake. So when a good partner comes along, someone who genuinely loves them, they panic. They sabotage the relationship. Because waiting for the pain to come is unbearable, it's easier to just destroy it yourself. At least then you're in control. And here's the cruel irony. These people desperately want connection. They don't want to be alone. But at the same time, they're terrified of closeness. Psychologists call this the loneliness paradox. You can be surrounded by people, at parties, gatherings, events, and still feel utterly, devastatingly alone. Because no one really knows you. No one's gotten past the walls. There's this constant state of hypervigilance. You're always watching, waiting for people to reject you. Every small thing becomes a sign. See, they're leaving too. I knew it. It's exhausting. It drains you emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and eventually many people just give up. They say, fine, I'm better off alone anyway. But inside, their heart is breaking. But is there hope? Yes, it's hard. God, it's hard. But it's possible. First, self-awareness. You have to understand where these patterns came from. It's not your fault that you were conditioned this way as a child, but it is your responsibility to change it now. Second, therapy. Professional help is essential. A good therapist can help you heal those old wounds. Techniques like CBT or EMDR are incredibly effective for this. Third, small steps. You don't have to transform overnight. Start with tiny acts of vulnerability. Tell a friend one real feeling. Trust someone just a little bit. See what happens. And most important, be kind to yourself. Everything you did to survive. But you're safe now. You don't need those old defenses anymore. If you're listening to this and recognizing yourself, you're not alone. Millions of people struggle with this, and if there's someone in your life who can't accept love, understand, it's not your fault. You can't fix them. Only they can heal themselves, but you can offer compassion, understanding. Because these people aren't bad, they're just broken, and every broken person, if they choose to, can heal, can bloom again, can love and be loved again. Healing is possible, hope is real, and you are worthy of love, even if you don't believe it yet.